Hi, this is Boomy.
Hey, and this is Segan, and today's Hero Spotlight is a character known all over the world. He's in books, TV, film, video games, board games, amusement park rides, anime, and he's the mascot for a baking company.
That's right. We're talking about the knight, the warrior, the Pendragon, the chosen leader for Great Britain, King Arthur!
Yeah, that guy.
King Arthur is a melee hero, so he's going to be bashing you in the face with his sword. And he's got 18 health, which makes him a beefy boy, especially for the Volume 1 set.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely for the Volume 1 set, not like that scrawny Bigfoot.
Yeah, I guess he's not that scrawny, but whatever. Excalibur's really cool. Anyways, what's his special ability? Is he special at all?
He is very special. First of all, he's a king, so that's special. Beyond that, you can actually boost every attack that you play. All you have to do is just play the boost card with your attack. I mean, it's just like a regular boost that you do with anyone else, right? Except for the fact that you could literally do it on every single attack that you want to. Now, the drawback, of course, if your opponent plays a feint or they cancel it somehow, it's also going to cancel the boost. So, you don't want to rapid fire boosting through your deck, right?
No, that'd be a terrible idea, Segan. It sounds like the guy just whiffs and tries to swing for the fences all the time. I hope he actually hits, because that would suck.
Sometimes. But he does have a pretty badass sidekick by the name of Merlin.
Yeah, Merlin is a ranged sidekick, so he's going to be slinging them spells from a distance, okay? Watch out. With a pretty moderate 7 health, okay? He's not bad, all right? He's an old guy with a stick, and he can, sling lightning bolts at your face, all right? Not bad.
Yeah, and like Boomy said, he's kind of old. He's like 440 or something like that, I think, right? And, Arthur, he's got that armor slowing him down, so unfortunately, these two both have a movement speed of 2.
Yeah, they're slow. Okay? They're slow. Anyways, let's move on to the deck.
So let's talk about King Arthur's deck. Obviously, 30 cards in total. He's got 14 versatile cards, 8 attack cards, 3 defense cards, and 5 schemes.
Yeah, and what's kind of fascinating is that Merlin has access to 21 of those cards, which makes him incredibly important, especially the King Arthur. And let's be honest, who's King Arthur without Merlin? And welcome to Unmatched University. I'm your professor, Boomy. I'm going to teach you a few things about King Arthur. A few things you should note when you play this hero on the battlefield. One thing you should know is his boost ability. Just as stated earlier, you may want to try to boost every single attack. Well, don't, okay? Because then you're going to find yourself incredibly tired and fatigued and basically crawling over to Avalon really fast at this point in time. What you want to do is you want to boost your attack cards with the most usefulness. And the way to do that is find those cards with that boost value of 2 or 3 within your hand, because those are going to be the ones to be able to use. And you want to attack with cards that will at least give you a base value of at least 4. Because if it does get canceled with a feint, you're going to be able to deal damage over that cancel. So that's just something to keep noteworthy as you're playing. Don't boost every attack. You might even just be boosting literally 2 to 3 attacks max per fight.
Per fight?
Yes.
That sounds boring.
Well, let's move on to positioning. Positioning is a big key element of Unmatched, but for King Arthur, it is integral in order to win a fight. A few key elements in there like Swift Strike, Divine Intervention, Even Skirmish could be useful cards to be able to manipulate yourself on the battlefield to position yourself in a better spot. You want Merlin on spaces that have multiple zones to allow him to control more of an area. With that 2 movement, you are going to be a bit slow to keep up with other fighters, but if you have good positioning, if you have good ways of blocking their access to other areas of the map and keep them controlled on one side, you actually might have a better chance of winning the game. Now, the next point, and this is going to be on your test, and that's going to be defending. If you don't study, you shall not pass. All right, enough Lord of the Rings references. Okay, you're defending, all right? When you're defending with King Arthur, he has 18 health. So he has a decent health pool with Merlin, which makes it around 25 health amongst the 2 of them. And with Bewilderment, which is one of the best defense cards in the game, to be able to block all that combat damage, you might be very tempted to use it when you get attacked for the first time as Merlin. Against certain matchups, you can actually probably eat some damage before that actually takes place. So if you're playing against certain matchups where that person doesn't deal direct damage through either effects with scheme cards or with, effects on their attack or defense cards, you're probably going to be more prone to just taking that damage, even with Merlin. But to be honest, you want to protect Merlin because he's so important to King Arthur in order to survive, in order to win this battle. So sometimes you're going to take some hits, but you're going to be able to because of your health pool. But just keep that in mind with your matchups, which ones are going to be the best in order to do so. And that is the end of class, folks. Go home, make good choices, and have a great day. Welcome to the BS Awards, where every award matters. So let's not waste any more time, and welcome to the stage, Tegan!
So, best attack. Can you guess what it's going to be, folks? Excalibur. Yes, that legendary sword of King Arthur. 6 value attack card. But this is the ultimate card to boost.
Thank you, Segan. Now here I am with the Best Defense Award. Let me open the envelope. And it is Bewilderment! This 0 value defense allows you not to take any of that nice pesky combat damage, and it allows you to move to any space on the board.
Best versatile card, and that's going to be Skirmish. That's right, a 4 value versatile card, strong on attack, strong on defense, and can help you close the gap, which makes up for that 2 movement speed.
Thank you, Segan, on that. This is the best scheme, and it is Restless Spirits! This scheme can deal 2 damage to 2 separate targets adjacent to one another and potentially refill that hand.
Yeah, and that's a decent pick considering it's wrong. So the actual best scheme in this deck, Command the Storms. Think about this. You get to move each fighter on the board. Not hero, each fighter. No matter how many sidekicks are out. People love to try to corner Arthur. For good reason. He doesn't have much movement. It's hard for him to get away. Not with this. Boom. You pop this, Merlin's on a cliff waving his freaking arms around, and you show up on the other side of the board or wherever you want to be. This is the card.
Well, that's it for today's BS Awards, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a great rest of your day and come back next time. Adios.
So let's talk a little bit about the competitive side, I guess, of King Arthur, Boomy. Like, would he be a top pick for you?
No. Absolutely not.
Would he be in your top 10?
No.
20?
20, maybe.
I completely agree. It's unfortunate, too, because, King Arthur he's just an iconic character. The flavor of the deck is fantastic. The artwork is amazing, as most Unmatched decks are. the playstyle seems like it's going to be fun. Like, it seems like a playstyle like I would gravitate to a lot, kind of the more in-your-face bruiser type of guy. But yeah, I wouldn't pick him.
You know, I think we just have to look at what are those strengths and weaknesses about King Arthur that don't make him a top pick, right? So, you know, what would you say are some strengths that you notice of King Arthur, Segan?
His special ability to be able to boost attack cards is a great ability, I think. You know, and I think, you know, personally, I would probably try to use, I know you mentioned 2 or 3 times per match. Honestly, just my play style, I would have to do that more. And then, of course, you know, his other big strength is Merlin. We've said so much about him. He helps with positioning. He deals direct damage from ranged. He helps to refill your hand, you know, since you're going to be blowing through your cards, boosting everything. And, you know, he helps you control the battlefield more. But, you know, with that being said, I mean, we've talked a lot about his strengths throughout the show. What about his weaknesses, Boomy? What makes this guy so bad?
Yeah, you know, a few things that to worry about with King Arthur is high variance. And this means is that there are 7 copies in his deck, which there's only 1 copy cards. If you think about it, that's like, what, 20-something% of your deck are cards that are not going to be reliable to draw, you know, when you're playing throughout the game. But going into low defenses, too, is another big problem of his. His healing is very niche with Holy Grail, and the factor of it is it could bring you back up to 8. But it requires you to perfectly time a certain attack interaction and defense interaction, and that can be such a detriment to you. It's going to be tough for him to win, and I think that's a really big weakness for him in order to become more competitive with the other heroes out there. So in conclusion, King Arthur is the hero of early Great Britain, a myth of incalculable influence across the globe. In Unmatched, he's a powerful warrior with a shifty mage sidekick that might find himself in Avalon a little sooner than expected.